because, there's that, Joe and my colleagues in the Senate used to always kid me for quoting Irish poets, but all's changed. It's changed utterly. A terrible beauty has been born, as the Irish poet said. And we've got to take advantage of it, and I think we can. I really, genuinely think we can.
Now, Biden announced a three-part student loan relief plan, which he had been considering in some form since he began taking office. The program continues the crisis pause on federal student loan repayments, pushing it through December, while payments resuming in January. Chuck Schumer also called on federal student loan providers to boost their staffing levels to handle the volume of calls from borrowers inquiring about the student debt relief. Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader and longtime proponent of a student debt forgiveness plan, said more than 2 million New York borrowers will benefit from Biden's plan. Schumer said the U.S. Department of Education has money allocated to help student loan processors hire more workers. This comes before an expected surge in calls when fall comes along and the Biden administration releases an application for borrowers to receive this relief. Now, you may actually be eligible to receive a one-time relief check this week. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives and Senate are now working on how to get out direct financial assistance to low-income households, especially families and seniors. Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has also made a big announcement on inflation. Make sure to watch until the end to see how to receive this. Today, Jerome Powell did deliver a stern commitment to halting inflation, warning that he expects the central bank to continue raising rates in a way that will cause some pain to the economy. In a much anticipated policy speech, Powell affirmed that the Fed will use our tools forcefully to attack inflation that is still running near its 40-year highs. Even with a series of 4 consecutive interest rate increases totaling 2.5 percentage points, Powell said this is no place to stop or pause, even though benchmark rates are probably around and even considered neither stimulative or non-restrictive to growth. The remarks come amid signs that inflation may have peaked, but is not showing any marked signs of decline. Two closely watched gauges, the Consumer Price Index and the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, showed prices little changed in July, owing largely to a steep drop in energy costs. At the same time, other areas of the economy are slowing. Housing in particular is falling off rapidly, and economists expect that the huge surge in hiring over the past year and a half is likely to cool. Powell cautioned that the Fed's focus is broader than a month or two of data, and it will continue pushing ahead until inflation moves down closer to its 2% goal. The economy is coming off consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, a commonly held definition of a recession. Powell and most other economists see the underlying economy as strong if slowing. As inflation continues to impact millions of people's lives, according to Newsweek, Minnesota is one of the states that need help. The direct payments are designed to help residents as inflation grows in the United States. Last week, the Commerce Department announced a second consecutive quarter of economic contraction, meaning recession's here. However, Joe Biden's administration and some economists have been pushing back, wanting to wait for the National Bureau of Economic Research to make the official call on whether or not the United States is in officially a recession. Either way, soaring inflation has left many people struggling with food, gas, and housing. While U.S. officials debate over the economy, some governors are taking the situation into their own hands and handing out stimulus checks to help alleviate some of the pressure put on by the residents. According to state officials, frontline workers in Minnesota are eligible for a one-time check of $750. Millions of people in Colorado are set to receive $750 checks in the mail soon. As part of the Colorado Cash Back program, the state lawmakers passed early this year. The Taxpayers' Bill of Rights limits the amount of revenue the state can retain and spend in each fiscal year. Any revenue that exceeds the limit determined by a formula that factors in population growth and inflation must be refunded to taxpayers unless voters approve a measure, allowing the state to retain access.
Ever. Businesses are growing, schools are open, and today we're celebrating a signature program, the American Rescue, and within the American Rescue Plan, that's going to help communities that need it most. Look, it's called the Build Back Better Regional Challenge. It's centered around a vision that as our economy recovers and modernizes, as science and technologies accelerate and change the nature of how we manufacture, we want workers and small businesses leading this transition, making sure they're a part of it, not just being shunned aside. Instead of fearing that the transition is going to leave them behind, we're going to help them get retrained and many other things. And think of the 55-year-old small businessman who's been making a single screw, this is literally true, for a combustible engine for cars for decades. He and his workers are worried. Why? Because they're moving to high-tech electric vehicles. We're going to help them and their businesses with training and new technology to help them make parts for electric vehicles and lead the transition to a clean energy economy so they're not left behind. This is about investing in them, believing in them, helping them transition to a new world. They can do these jobs, just like they did the ones they had before. This is about jobs in their communities, for them, not having to leave or not having to go on unemployment. As new enterprises are created in the communities, they shouldn't have to leave. They should be the ones to be able to fill in for those jobs. So we designed this program by thinking about people and places in a really important way. And I know you got all of you up on the screen here, 21 different communities. This American Rescue Plan program invests $1 billion, a total of three, but $1 billion to create jobs and opportunity for people in places where they live and where they've worked their entire career so they don't have to leave. I know when folks hear such big numbers, they don't think it's for them. This is for them. Is for them. Over 500 coalitions applied for these grants, from community organizations to philanthropies to labor unions to colleges, universities, all working together from every part of America. That kind of interest is a testament to the need and enthusiasm for this type of investment. I take a look at this as a transition investment. I'm so proud to announce 21 awardees up on the screen here who will each receive between 25 million and 65 million jobs to turn their plans into action. As Secretary Mundo just said, and I guess I wasn't supposed to start this off, wasn't I? Come to think of it, all of a sudden it dawned on me I was supposed to let her speak first. But estimate these projects are going to result in 100,000 jobs created or saved, over $7 billion in additional private sector investment in these 21 communities. We want you to continue having good jobs in your communities so you don't have to leave, so your people in your communities aren't displaced. The winners are all here up on the screen, and they're going to empower communities in Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Joe, is that you? Is that Joe Manchin I see?
I'm right here with you.
Hey, Joe, good to see you, man. Thanks for what you're doing. Matter of fact, you're one of the guys that started this idea with me, what you're talking about needed to happen in West Virginia. But anyway, they're going to empower communities in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Louisiana to lead our nation's transition to clean energy. They're going to empower small manufacturers in Michigan, Kansas, North Carolina, El Paso, Texas, helping them modernize and become part of a supply chain for cutting-edge technologies, advanced manufacturing, biotechnology, aerospace. They're going to empower agricultural workers in Fresno, California, and women in St. Louis, Missouri, pursuing manufacturing careers through quality job training and apprenticeships that lead to good-paying jobs.